the young man never expected that right after arriving in a new place, he'd get dragged into a mafia power struggle. On one side was a mafia big sister trying to bond with him. On the other side, a mafia boss who had confessed his love to Twilight. Jason racked his brain, completely unable to figure out how things had turned out this way. Not long ago, Jason had risked everything to rescue Amaru. He charged alone into the governor's headquarters. Surprisingly, the mission went unusually smoothly. Even though alarms blared from every direction, Jason and Amaru still managed to escape successfully. They thought they could finally get away, but a bucket of cold water quickly ruined that hope. Turns out, it was all just the governor's cruel game. He had been waiting for Jason the whole time. Not only was Amaru captured again, Jason himself was hit with a stun baton, his body twitching from the electric shock. Seeing things go south, Jason grabbed the soldier's own baton and took him down, then rushed to the commander, demanding Amaru's release. But the number advantage was too much. He was quickly restrained. Watching Jason being beaten mercilessly, Amaru begged to exchange herself for his safety. Hearing that, Jason encouraged her not to give up, telling her to keep chasing her dream of painting and become a great artist. The commander, moved by their bond, decided to kill Amaru right in front of Jason. Just then, their savior appeared. With overwhelming technological power, he cut through every soldier's gun in a single strike. Though he kept insisting he was a robot, who only acted based on logic and reason, Twilight had already been quietly changed by Jason's kindness. Afterward, Twilight helped Amaru remove her prisoner mark to repay Jason and Twilight, and to travel the world to draw beautiful picture books. Amaru decided to form a 3-person ELSI with them. ELSI, in this world, was similar to marriage, but with no limits on number or gender, so Twilight didn't mind Amaru joining at all. Soon, the trio arrived in a new place called Aomori, just in time for a festival, where people searched for ELSI partners. Security was tight to prevent any incidents. Both Twilight and Amaru said the festival had nothing to do with them. After all, their hearts belonged only to Jason. But Jason refused. He said his heart already belonged to his fiancée, and he came to Tokyo only to find her. He believed both Twilight and Amaru had simply mistaken other feelings for love, that they weren't truly in love with him. To prove their sincerity, both Twilight and Amaru decided to join the festival, to show they wouldn't fall for anyone except Jason. Meanwhile, Carl, the head of Aomori's biggest mafia, the Rantano family, was conducting a massive arms deal with the governor and the military. Suddenly, unexpected guests arrived. It was Carl's half-sister, Fetus. The two were rivals fighting for the position of family head. Originally, the Rantano family had 10 siblings, but only the 2 of them remained. The current boss gave them one condition: to become the next head, they must continue the bloodline. In other words, they must find an ELSI partner. So both decided to participate in the festival. The next day, the festival began as planned. Jason wanted to explore alone, but when he overheard that mafia members were also attending, he grew worried for Twilight and Amaru's safety, and rushed to the venue. There he saw both Twilight and Amaru, rejecting every admirer one after another, as well as 2 mafia candidates. Carl was flirting with everyone around him, while Fetus coldly turned down her suitors one by one. Jason swore he wouldn't get involved with either of them. As evening fell, Twilight, after dozens of cocktails, was completely drunk. At that moment, Amaru spotted Jason hiding in a corner. Jason got distracted, and by the time he looked back, Twilight was gone from the table. Jason began searching everywhere for the drunk Twilight. While wandering, he accidentally bumped into Fetus's wine glass. Panicking, he apologized repeatedly, and accidentally mentioned, "I wonder if there's bleach in this era." That single line caught Fetus's attention. Before Jason could slip away, she grabbed his arm.
今の時代ってどういうことかしら。あなた何者？
アキラを離して。アキラは何も悪いことしてない。ただ旧時代の生き残りだから物知りなだけだよ。
After learning he was from the old era, Fetus demanded he form an ELSI with her. She wanted to make a deal. If Jason agreed, she would protect him from Owl's pursuit, and in return, he'd help her claim the family head position. It was a win-win situation. Just then, commotion erupted below. Carl had found his ideal ELSI partner. Fetus's expression immediately changed. Jason noticed and instantly realized that the one she truly wanted as her ELSI partner was Carl. Caught red-handed, Fetus tried to deny it in panic, but her clumsy excuse only made it more obvious. It turned out that blood relatives could form an ELSI, but were forbidden from having children. The current family head would never allow a brother and sister to form one. Jason was stunned by this German bone level of plot twist, but an even bigger headache followed. Carl's chosen ELSI partner was none other than the drunken Twilight.